Alright guys, so we're trying something a bit different today. I'm going to bring a new product to the website, and it's going to be like a high heat for pizzas, and we're also just reducing our waste slightly. This stuff is obviously going to go through the boiler on the kiln, but there was quite a lot of decent wood going through the boiler that I didn't want to waste, so we're taking out the majority of the small stuff and we're keeping the bigger stuff. This will go through the kiln again, and that'll be for pizza ovens. So just making a little bit more money out of wood we've already processed, as well as reducing the waste. So we have to really slowly tip it in here. So a lot of the small waste is coming out here. And the slightly bigger stuff is coming out here. So we're going to put this back through the kiln. It's basically taking out the dust and the really small stuff, because this is still perfectly good wood. You should have to do very little and often. You don't want to jam up the cleaner, but it's actually working a lot better than I thought it would. Really impressed. So I'm actually surprised at how much big stuff is coming out. We've only put one IBC in so far, and we're about, well, not even halfway through that one, and we've nearly got a full IBC of this. I'm amazed at how much we were actually burning of the bigger stuff. So from now on we're going to do this, because this is obviously another product, and I think it's going to work really, really well. A bit different this morning. We're just trying to free up these cages, but yeah, amazing. You have to do it very little and often. It's a bit hard when it's packed in there a little bit. Give it a little shake. Slowly coming. Sounds like there's a bit of wood stuck, so we're just going to reverse it, and that lets quite a lot of the bits out. First time I've had to do that. Okay. So I reckon out of 2 IBCs, we're going to get 1 full IBC. So I'm actually really pleased at how that's worked, and we'll get that on the website now. We'll put it in the kiln and dry it even more. It's already been through the kiln once, but not a lot of airflow because of all the little bits between them. So we'll put it through the kiln again now, and that'll be on the website, and that'll be in barra bags, perfect for pizza ovens. High heat, high flame. Granted, it won't last very long, but it will be very good for cooking pizzas. So for an example, this is the stuff we're burning. This hasn't been screened, so you know, that would have made a perfect pizza log. A little bit of cherry in here. That's another perfect pizza log. So from now on, we're going to screen everything through the cleaner. We've already got it. It makes sense. And then the actual small stuff, the actual waste, will only go through the burner, and we'll keep the bigger stuff. I really am happy, really happy how that's worked out actually. That worked out really well. So we use that as a mix load. So we'll have logs, get a good ember layer, and then we'll feather that on top. Lovely. Very cool. And that's what makes the Eco Angus boiler so efficient. You can burn your waste. Nothing goes to waste here. You know, we can sweep up outside as long as it's dry. Sweep up all this bits outside we've dropped straight in the boiler. And I just can't. I'm amazed at how much big stuff came out of that. I thought it was going to be about a quarter per IBC, but it was about half an IBC. Yeah, so there's 2 IBCs of waste in that, and it's a heaped IBC of now pizza logs. So that cleaner will soon pay itself back in time, and now a waste product. So I'm a bit of a sort out in here, and we're going to start bagging up some of this stuff now it's dry. And it's actually a dry day at the moment. It is due to rain about 1 o'clock, so we're gonna try and get one of these rows at least processed. We've been processing softwood a lot the past kind of day or so. All this is softwood rings. We cut quite a bit on the Palax, the smaller stuff, so we just kept them as a ring, and if they go through the Kindling Pro like that, then great. If not, we'll just have to split them in half. And then the bigger timber we've been putting through the factory, and obviously making the big squares that will go through the Kindling Pro, which we'll do a video on in depth. We've got a lot of rings there outside to dry. We've got quite a lot of crates inside the barn. I've got 22 in there, I believe, and they are pretty much dry. They're now being processed into kindling, and they will then further dry in the stick. So mum's been doing really well. Got 550 and whatever is in this pallet here, but as you can see, once they're in the stick form, they've got plenty of airflow through them, and they'll sit here until basically September. We'd like to get 2,000 here stacked up for my domestic customers. We'd like to get 2,000 stacked up here, and that will just sit there, and we won't eat into it for any of the trade customers or wholesale, because we don't want to be short on my own kindling this year. Last year was a bit of a panic station when we couldn't get softwood, and we were struggling to dry it as well when we did get it in. So if we can just get all the kindling I need and stack it up and then leave it just for myself, that would be great. Firstly, it will be extremely dry because it's been sitting for so long, and I can guarantee I've got it. We sell about 2,000 nets a year. It's funny, some people buy 2 bags of kindling per bulk bag, and some people buy a couple of bulk bags and don't get any kindling at all. They either split it down or just use the little bits. There aren't many little bits, especially in the kiln dried stuff, because we put it over the cleaner. There's a few little bits in the seasoned stuff, but not a lot. And some people get the odd pallet in, or they buy it from a shop. So it works out, we sell about 2,000 nets of kindling to my domestic customers a year. Oh, another thing, as you can see, the Palax is packed up in the corner of the yard here. We're going to put a sheet over it. I'm going to spray the blade and the splitting mechanism with some spray grease just to stop it from rusting. It's all been blowed off, it's all been greased, all the bearings being greased. So this is going to sit here now until we start processing the fully seasoned cord right at the end there, and that's going to go at the front of the shed. So we've got to put all this in, and then we're going to put all that in. So that's the plan. We, as I say, the timber deck is back on the factory now, and we were processing all that softwood. Just had a bit of a sort out in the yard here, and then we can start stacking up bags before we move them down to the second depot. Kiln is on, got it going again this morning. I thought they were done, but I found a couple that I wasn't too happy about, so just flashing them again for another day or two. I mean, look at that split, that's ridiculous. But still reading about 24 in the middle. I'd like to get it down to that 20 mark, and then they're reading about 6 on the outside. So 26 divided by 2 is 13. So it's a 13% moisture on an average of a log, which is plenty dry enough. We don't want any complaints, we never do. So yes, we're just flashing it again. As you can see, we've got some waste here. We will be tipping that over the cleaner and getting the big stuff out for the pizza logs. Like I was just saying, a couple of nets of kindling got a bit wet in the back of my truck, so I'm just drying them out again. They got rained on. But this is still the same batch from last time. We've got 4 cages of normal logs, we've got 5 cages of oak, and then we've got the cherry right at the back. So I'll be likely taking this out tomorrow morning. Just bagging up the cages that were over there. We brought them inside because it started to rain, but doing a grand job. Some of this stuff's a bit drier than other bits, but the stuff we were doing earlier was quite a bit greener. A bit of beach there. It's definitely a lot heavier. So yeah, it's going well. We're just stacking them up in here for now, out the rain. Either get George back in with the tractor and trailer to move it in one lot, or we can chip away and move it with the grafter and the trailer. But he's got those to go through. We're stacking the IBCs nice and neatly. We're stacking the IBCs nice and neatly down here, 4 high, just to try and minimise how much space they take up. And as we use them, we'll just keep putting them up there. And we also need to sort out this mess down here that I keep saying we do. But from where all the IBCs blew over in the storms over winter, it's a bit of a mess. So once we get a bit of space, we can actually restack these basically. We can have a bigger sort out. We're going to go from having quite a lot of IBCs full to having lots of IBCs empty. So fingers crossed the wood will come in and we can start filling them back up again. Well guys, I'm loaded up. I'm going to leave Andy bagging up that part season stuff. I'm going off to a new customer now, a new campground, actually one of 2 that I've taken on. Thank you Ian if you're watching. he sent me an inquiry, so I appreciate that. So yeah, we've got 2 pallets of 60 log nets. We've got 120 log nets, and we've got 20 nets of kindling. And then tomorrow I'm going off to the other campground with pretty much the same. So yeah, it is a little way away. It's an hour and a half from here, 75 miles. But hey, it's a good little customer, and I'll be honest, it is the thing we need for the summer. We don't have a lot of sales during the summer, so anything we can pick up now is perfect. So yeah, a few campgrounds, maybe a few more pizza guys, just to keep things ticking over until kind of August, September, when the domestic customers start buying firewood again, stocking up. So yeah, I may film something when I get there. If not, then it's going to be a bit of a boring trip for you guys. But yeah, new customer, so that's good. Hi guys, welcome back. Bit of Saturday action. As you can see, I've got the tipping trailer on, the D-Max. We're going to fill up with 5 cages of long stuff. This is for a particular customer that has, I think I cut them to 40 centimetres, something like that. So about 16 inches actually. So for any American viewers or any 16-inch firewood producers out there, we're cutting 16 inches for this customer. He's got a boiler in his house, so obviously heats the house, but also heats the water of the house as well. So yeah, pretty particular, and he has longer stuff, so he hasn't got to put too many bits on. So yeah, we'll just grab the forklift, just warming up. We'll put the sidearm on, and we'll rotate 5 cages into the back of the tipping trailer, and we're going to get these delivered. Right, I went quite successfully. Just need to pick up all the ones that have dropped on the floor and try and level out this load a little bit, but it only just about fits in 5 IBCs, so it's a bit like Jenga, you have to sort them out a bit, but she should fit. It's a 6 cube trailer and 5 times 1.2 is 6 cubes, so works out just right. Another thing that's different from here to the US, they have different size IBCs, where I've only seen this size. I believe they've got higher ones over there. So, but yeah, as I say, I've never seen them before. Just 1,000 litre ones. So these hold a drum that holds 1,000 litres, but then it only comes up to about here, and then you've got another bit on top. So a level load is 1.2. I understand that 1,000 litres of liquid is only 1 cubic metre, but yeah, that's where you get the 1.2 from, because the liquid doesn't go all the way up to the top. This particular customer did exactly the same last year. Bought a full load, and actually this year he's gone for 2. So yeah, really nice customer. He's actually been buying off me from the start, from the get-go. So I'll try and help him out where I can, the price and stuff. So, but I do find that customers that go through a lot are very sensible in getting what they can in the summer months. People that only go for a few bags don't really mind just buying it in when it's dry in the winter. Now obviously that does come at a slight increase in cost. But yeah, I mean, he's having 2 of these trailer fulls for 12 cubic metres. I'm not totally sure what that equates to in cords. There was a comment quite a while ago that someone did put the math down for cube to cords. I forgot what was kind of said now, but yeah, that's what it is. It's a 6 cubic metre trailer. Bit of a mix of smaller stuff and bigger stuff in here. Right, that'll be absolutely perfect to get the fire going. Middle, knock down a little bit. That's a good load, that. Wonder how much it's gonna settle down by. I really am loving this magnet mount. So the DJI does have a magnet on the bottom, but it's pretty weak. I don't think it's designed to actually stick to things. I think it's just designed to make clipping onto the holder a lot easier and quicker. But I've actually bought a magnet mount, as you would have seen in another video, and it's actually, I just stuck it to the forklift, and if it's got a good solid lump of metal, I can barely get this off. It is so strong. I'll leave a link in the description for the magnet mount, but I would suggest for a little camera like a GoPro, just get the smaller one, don't get the bigger one. This is made for like a DSLR camera, big one. So I just don't want it falling off, but there's no chance of that happening. I can tell you that now. Nice load. Right, we're all ready to go. We're gonna lock up, pack up, and get on the road. All lights, cables all attached, covers on, number plates on. Just the final check before we leave. Right, ready to go.